Well, good morning. I hope everything's working all right. Let me check sound meters. Yes, looking okay. Good morning, Robert Mack. How are you doing? Merry Christmas. Of course, a big Merry Christmas to everyone. I haven't done my mouth exercises this morning. A good Merry Christmas to everybody, and a hopeful New Year. Let's hope it's a brighter one. Merry Christmas, Mark, for doing. Yes, just of course, the downside is when you pronounce 2021, you're still actually in 2020, aren't you? So whether it's going to be brighter or not. Yeah, 2021. Yes, another repeat of 2020. Well, anyway, so what have we got going on? Okay, so let's make sure we have this one here. What have I got? Yeah, for those people already tuned in, here is the latest COVID test. Right, the home COVID test kit. Open a can of beer and try to smell it. If you can smell the beer, drink it and see if you can taste it. If you can taste it and smell it, this confirms you don't have COVID. Last night I did the test 19 times and all were negative. Tonight I'm going to do the test again because this morning I woke up with a headache and I'm feeling like I'm coming down with something. Anyway, just brighten the day for everybody. There you go. The home COVID test. Sounds pretty legitimate. Oh my God, I can't speak today. Sounds pretty legitimate to me. Anyway, moving right along. There was something I was actually going to throw out there. This is starting today. Should actually go download. How you going? Merry Christmas. 20 reasons to celebrate being in Thailand for Christmas. Let me see if I get that all nicely positioned there. Robert Mack in Asia, back at ya. That's it. So how's everybody? Did you survive Christmas? Did the relatives come round? Of course, Thailand here doesn't celebrate Christmas. We recognise Christmas, but we don't celebrate it though. I've got a video I'll release later on today that was we went out and had a Christmas lunch with Chanya yesterday. We found a nice little Christmas themed thing. So we went and had lunch. I had a lovely sort of deep fried sea bass in a sort of a tom yum sort of sauce, which they did for me, my pet. So it was really quite yummy. And I couldn't eat another thing all day. I just ate too much again. That's becoming a bit of a habit, actually, eating too much. Anyway, 10 reasons to celebrate being in Thailand for Christmas. I know a lot of people are going to have a bit of trouble getting to Thailand, but if you're here, this is the best thing about it. Martin Calderon. Merry Christmas for Los Angeles. I suppose it's getting cool over there now. You were out in Thailand in January 19, 2009, and I can't wait to get back. It's the case of most people out here. Most people can't get back. Few people have got in, but it's only those people who plan to stay long here, We are in bad shape in Los Angeles, California, currently told to stay home unless we are essential workers. And I think that's going around everywhere. We're obviously suffering a bit here with this out of control situation here in somewhat Saigon. Particularly, they've actually stopped reporting the actual numbers now in the internment in the migrant camps, internment camps. UAE forces have been fully recovered. Yes, that's the bad news, sort of Thailand. Anyway, the good news stuff. Well, let's stay good news. Let's face it, you live in Thailand but normally spend Christmas in your home or elsewhere. That's unlikely to happen this year. And if you don't live in Thailand but have found yourself stuck here, and what a place to be stuck, then consider yourself incredibly lucky. there are far worse places to spend Christmas, and that's particularly true this year. So while the rest of the world battles the cold weather and the dark afternoons, not to mention a pandemic, here's just some of those reasons to celebrate being in Thailand for Christmas. Unless, of course, you live in Samut which is now in lockdown. We're actually close to the border of Samut, so the actual checkpoint is just down the bottom of our road there. If you are driving a Samut registered motor vehicle, they'll stop you and they'll do temperature checks and all sorts of things and ask why you come into Bangkok, and they don't pull you up over if you've got Bangkok number plates, but they're doing the best to keep it at bay. Whether they're going to do a good job or not, I think we'll probably get through this one here without a lockdown. The government is saying no lockdowns at this stage. If everybody behaves themselves and practices social distancing and wears their mask, you know how it goes. It's fun staying at home with your wife, is it? Okay. But you got a lovely wife. What are you talking about, Robert? You having a go at me again? Chanya, she goes to work every day, except when she decides that she wants to take a Friday off to go for Christmas lunch. And I go, okay, well, fair enough. It's your business. I'm hoping to go out tomorrow if I can do a video or live stream. Well, if you are doing a live stream, do a live stream. If you go out. Be interesting to see how things are going. Anyway, Andy Stubbs, good morning. The weather, there isn't much more to say on that one. At this time of year, you're almost guaranteed glorious sunshine every day, and in the north, cooler mornings and even a jacket required when you go out. Yes, there may be a bit of rain now and again, but warm tropical downpours beats shoveling snow and dark mornings just so that you can get to work. Yes, tell me about it. And the beaches, although I don't spend much time at the beaches. Bossa Nova, g'day, how you doing? Merry Christmas. If you're fortunate enough to live on the coast or in one of Thailand's beautiful islands, rejoice. You can celebrate Christmas on the beach just like the Aussies. Try to fit in a quick video, catch up with your family and friends back home, just so they can see what they're missing out on. Yeah, just a bit of bragging there. Yeah, it's always good to brag. People, it's not called the Land of Smiles for nothing. I reckon it's because people just love to eat food, and you can't stop smiling when you eat the lovely food here. Anyway, no list for reasons to spend Christmas in Thailand. Could neglect to mention the people. The Thais are some of the friendliest people in the world, and even though it's not a Thai holiday, expect to be wished a Merry Christmas everywhere you go. Thais are also more happy to get into the festive spirit, as can be seen from the multitude of Santa hats worn everywhere. Well, that's of course from Myanmar. There's a definite xenophobia going on here in Bangkok right now, and around in certain locations, even in Samut Sakhon. I honestly can't tell the difference between somebody from Myanmar and somebody from Thailand. Like they're all Asian looking to me, and they look pretty much the same. But Chanya, she picks them out and says, "Oh, don't go there, Myanmar. Don't go to that service station. The workers there are from Myanmar." What do you do? They look Thai to me. But that's how it goes over here. Somehow the Thais have a way of being able to detect who's from Myanmar, and they're being sort of ostracised. I was reading one of these stories here. A bit further, it's probably not on there. I think I posted on my Facebook. One of the employers down in the fish market had a truck full of them, dropped them on the side of the road and said, "Go and get tested." There's a definite some weird stuff going on here at the moment. Anyway, so Martin Calderon, thank you for your very inspiring message about retirement in Thailand. Currently working on wrapping up the details to rent out my house and get back to Chiang Mai. Yeah, I personally think that, maybe the property market in America is different to the property market in Australia, and maybe you can trust people to do the right thing over there. But although I've never rented my property in Australia, we had that property of ours, the one that I bought off my father. We rented that twice. We rented that between 1975 to 1978 when we were in England. And then after the divorce settlement between my mother and father, that was 2 years later, or a year later or something, then I moved out, and Barry, that's the old man, he rented that house out for another 12 months as well. Both times, when we came back, the house was wrecked. The first time they wrecked the pool, they wrecked the house, and honestly, I looked at renting. I'm going, yeah, we probably could. It would give me a definite sort of monthly stipend to keep that mortgage going. But again, it's one of those things. I made an agreement with my ex-wife that I would sell the house and divvy up the proceeds. So renting wasn't really an option for me, unless of course I wanted to go against our agreement. But yeah, the whole idea of renting just was never sat well with me, because there's so many arseholes you get in Australia that just don't give a flip about it's not my property, so who cares. But it may be different in America. I just say sell it, invest the money, invest it wisely, of course. Anyway, if you're the food, if you're a stickler for tradition, you can get your Christmas turkey in the more expat-friendly areas in Thailand. Whether you opt to cook it at home or dine out, most large resorts will lay on an all-inclusive Christmas spread. That means you don't have to be stuck in a hot kitchen all day. Alternatively, you can opt for some of the best cuisine in the world and celebrate Christmas with Thai food. Who needs Brussels sprouts anyway? Exactly. Scuba Tom, g'day, how you doing? You had the vaccine last Wednesday, really? They're already dishing that out, because I know you're in Australia. That's interesting to know that they're already starting to vaccinate. What gave you the getting the head to the top of the line, or the head of the line there, Tom? Pretty sure you're in Australia or in America. I can't remember where you're from now. For some reason I thought you were an Australian. Anyway, what put you to the top of the line? I wouldn't have thought you would, they were going to do, elderly and health workers. Oh, that's right, you're in the US. I thought they were doing elderly and health workers and all that sort of stuff first. Unless, of course, maybe that's why you've been put to the top of the list. Maybe you're a health worker. Anyway, moving along. Let me know. And the shopping, if you're in, yes, at WRPP, yes. Good morning, hope all is good, yep. The shopping, if you're in Thailand for Christmas, you have no excuse for leaving the present buying until the last minute. Bangkok residents in particular are spoilt for choice when it comes to shopping malls. Tell me about it. As are most other major cities, and the bigger islands. Don't forget to check out the little individual boutiques where you'll discover original gifts you'd never find back home. All the big shopping malls, indeed, most shops and offices are all open on Christmas Day in Thailand. Yes, it's just it is a sort of a definite sort of difference from the West. Christmas Day, Boxing Day, everything's sort of shut down and it's all family. Here it's business as usual. That's why I'm streaming today. It's Boxing Day everywhere else, but I'm working. There you go. Robert Boyd, vaccine in March next year at the earliest in Australia. Okay. A pharmacy was closing, and they had 2 doses that would go bad, so they asked if I wanted it. Really? Okay. Interesting. Fair enough. Nice to know somebody in the pharmacy industry. Friendly Horse, only doing over 80s and health workers in the UK at the moment. Okay. My hospital has the vaccine, but ER first, critical unit, ICU, then assisted living. Yeah, that makes sort of sense. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we are covering, for those people who are joining us now. We've got 23 views and probably no likes. Okay, let's have a look at the likes. Where's the like button? Checking that out. 7 likes and 23 people. I got the worst viewers. I really have. Hit that like button, guys, or the dislike button, whichever way you want to go. It's okay with me. My hospital has the vaccine. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we are talking about the reasons to celebrate Christmas in Thailand. Shopping, nature. Whether you need to work off that Christmas lunch, or tell me about it, or get away from panic buying for a couple of hours. So there's plenty of sports to enjoy, a leisurely walk and soak up some nature. Thailand has a wealth of national parks where you can take a gentle stroll or indulge in some trekking or a host of other activities including rafting, rock climbing, or why not charter a boat for the day and celebrate Christmas surrounded by Thailand's beautiful marine life. Well, that depends on where you are. For me, like we're nowhere near those sort of places here. We've got to travel for at least an hour before you get to those places, just to go for a stroll. But if you're in the countryside or in up in the north, there's plenty of places to hang out. Relaxation, that's me. There's no doubt about it. Christmas can be stressful, whether you're cooking or last-minute shopping or arguing with a family member. It's that time of year you can be fraught with tension. So if you're celebrating in Thailand, why not take the opportunity to escape all the usual stress of the festive seasons and instead wake up with a smile because you're in paradise. Who wouldn't want to be you? I really love Thailand. What can I say? Anyway, let's just minimize that for the minute. I'll probably come back to some more articles shortly. So, what's everybody else been doing? So, this is Christmas or Boxing Day. With who got a bag of coal and who actually got gifts? I know there's a lot of bad people on my channel, so I'm pretty sure that half of you have got bags of coal. The last couple of years, I've been driven to Pattaya for the traditional roast on the Christmas day. If I felt adventurous enough, I could jump on the bike and go and visit a few people down there. Sort of Nick wants me to come down and hang out there for a few days. But again, I've sort of said that before, like I've told Nick, is the fact that, going down to Pattaya on my own, I think I'm asking for sort of a lot of tension and strife here in the house. So I will try to avoid it at all costs. Then again, if I get a free pass, if Chanya gives me a free pass, I keep on mentioning it every so often, so she could give me a free pass to say, go down and see your friends in Pattaya and it's all's good. I let her go away and hang out with her friends, so maybe she'll come to the party and let me go and hang out with my friends, without fear of retribution when I get back home. Thankfully we don't have ducks. Yeah, it's only 35 minutes from home. Yeah, like it's a 3-hour ride for me. Or 3-hour drive or 3-hour ride. I would probably ride down. I probably wouldn't drive if I'm going down myself. But again, if I ride down, I have to go down. I can't use the freeway. I've got to use the traditional roads because they don't let the bikes, even if it's a big bike, they don't let you on the expressway. Hopefully that'll change as this new licensing rule comes in. Paul in Sydney, Merry Christmas, how you doing? Stephen Snyder, Merry Christmas. Wazza and Chanya from Stephen Sivithorn. That's a lovely name for a Thai girl. In Vancouver, Canada. We really enjoy watching your videos each week. My Thai wife and I will be moving to Thailand in a couple of years. Sounds like a good plan there, Stephen. Hope to see you when you come over. Robert Mack, whenever I get back, let's head up the town. Look, we do that every so often. I don't call it. I let Jerry call it these days because we don't have any tourists coming here, and And quite frankly, it's a good hour and a half for me to trek into Bangkok every time we want to hang out, as they say. So it's one of those things. I wait for special people to be here to do the trip in, or unless of course Jerry turns around and just says, let's do a boys' night out, and then of course I'm usually into those. I noticed he posted something. He was in Soy Cowboy last night, and he's put a couple of photos up on my line. If I can find my line, I can probably show you the photos. Where's my line? There it is. Boys' night out. So he had. Yeah, okay. There we go, and I'll just disappear off screen for a second. Hold on. Yeah, Soy Cowboy last night. There's one looking down Soy Cowboy, and then of course looking up the other way. This is 8 p.m. Absolutely, completely dead, and a lot of lights not even on as well. As you can see, a lot of lights up here turned off. Next, a couple of Mark up. Thank you for the little Christmas gift there. Always greatly appreciated. Yes, little tip jar. I love that little animation. It's really cute, isn't it? Yes, it's that was just a few shots that Jerry posted. So I'm guessing he was out by himself last night, or with somebody. He didn't let me know. There was no planned boys' night out, and that was 8 o'clock last night. So. Yeah, that was yesterday. Koji, Merry Christmas. Yeah, yeah. The Santa Claus. He wasn't faring too well. I don't think I should show this one. This one here is quite risque. It's a little animation. Let me turn the audio off. Yes. Yes, Merry Christmas and Merry Christmas. There you go. There we go. I knew a girl in Australia. She could do that with her breasts as well. I thought it was always quite funny. Needs good muscle control. For me, New Year is my more important celebration. Yeah, look, Chanya's got something planned for the 28th. I think she's booked something in Bangkok. That's why we had to go and get some shirts and stuff like that. She wanted me all dolled up for the special. She's got something planned. She won't tell me what it is. All I know is the fact that I had to get some appropriate shirts and things like that. You know what? She's always trying to dress me. So there's something happening on the 28th. There'll be a video about that, of course. I don't know what it is, but I think it's some sort of special dinner she's putting on, and she's paying, so it's all good. For me, New Year's my front celebration. Yeah. Merry Christmas, Daniel. Thailand. Yeah, probably got that. Yeah. From Lincoln, NE, Lincoln NE. I'm not quite sure what the abbreviation NE is. I'm not quite sure where Lincoln is either, but I'm guessing it's in America. Mark Verdorn. Last year I remembered in the soy. Over from where I was, a bloke killed himself looking down the barrel of the biggest fireworks that I've ever seen. Then boom. Really? Okay. Yeah, this year it's totally different in Pattaya from previous years. Yeah, I think Pattaya's turned up their celebrations this year. Nebraska. Okay, so NE is Nebraska. I'll get to know all these things over the years. I'm starting to recognise different symbols. NE, New England. Okay, right, that makes sense. I'm trying to work how you got NE from Nebraska, but New England base sounds better. You're quite drunk. I'm quite sober, but I'm still getting my words all tongue-tied at the moment. Andy Stubbs, I'll only give you. No, I'll only give if you have a swear jar. So here's your fucking notation. Very good, Andy. Thank you very much. A swear jar. There you go. Yeah, I should change the name to the swear jar. If you swear, then you have to put money in the swear jar. Anyway, of course, it always takes when you're coming to Australia. Why is it? It always takes time to come through. That's the delay factor in the different locations around the world. Anyway, Sydney NYE fireworks still. There we go. Finally, it catches up. Fireworks still going ahead, but will be a smaller celebration and limited people around the harbour. I can imagine, Paul. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that we had something listed on if we actually go to the Tiger news, Pattaya. Here, Pattaya cancels end of year countdown events. Oh, by the way, the Tiger is my favourite magazine, online rag. Pattaya officials have cancelled all public gatherings planned over the next few weeks. A Chonburi provincial order has banned the events, including the 3-day Pattaya New Year countdown music festival. All the other provincial countdowns have also been cancelled as a precaution against the current outbreak in Samut Sakhon, which is now spreading to neighbouring provinces, including Bangkok. Karalan shut down. Hurasarai floating market concert in the God, don't ask me to pronounce these names, have also been cancelled. According to Pattaya City Council, the Pattaya New Year Music Countdown Festival scheduled for the Bahai Pier between December 29th and 31st is a huge disappointment to Pattaya's tourism. Many of the hotels were nearly fully booked for the event. And that's a were. A lot of people have cancelled their hotel bookings, so they come down for that event. And if it's not going to be on, then that's it. They don't come. They just cancel. Crowd gatherings are now also banned at temples, mosques, and churches in Chonburi. Yeah. So we've got more than 1,000 cases being reported in Samut Sakhon cluster, and we're seeing double-digit spread throughout the neighbouring provinces at the moment. I don't actually have those numbers in front of me, I don't think. Thailand, do we have a latest numbers? More long weekends. Yeah, that's another interesting sort of side of the Thai government promises more long weekends in 2021. Travel bubbles after April. Yeah, whether that happens or not, it's a bit too far to call that one. 19 hours ago. So what do we got? Total of 81 new cases of new Thai COVID infections in the past 24 hours, including from Samut Sakhon. That's outside the dormitories. Basically what they've done is they've basically locked everybody into the dormitories without pay. This is all the migrant workers. They live in dormitories around these areas, so they are a cluster that they can control. They basically wrapped it all in barbed wire and said you can't come out. But yeah, they've stopped reporting the actual numbers inside. So far 8,810 people have been tested in Samut Sakhon. About 50% have tested positive. Plan remains to test a total of 10,300 people considered high risk in the current outbreak. Provincial officials have locked down the province, placed curfews on residents and sealed off access to and from the migrant working camps. 500 of the tested people have been admitted at hospital. There are a few cases of serious illness and others showing mild symptoms. The others were quarantined only. And what they're really having an issue with is the fact that whether you've got the infection or not, they're all in the same migrant camp, so they haven't separated people who are well to people who are sick, because it's basically impossible to do that. So if a family, if you're living in these, the dormitories, and these dormitories are 3 to 4 people up, then if one person in the dormitory gets it, well, guess what? You're all going to get it. It doesn't matter how much social distancing you got. It's almost like an internment camp. It's a bit of a sad situation, but unfortunately, this is the way that they're dealing with it. What else? Good morning, Mr. Mitchell. NE is a postal code for the state of. It's a postal code for Nebraska. Okay. Yeah, I got that. Yeah. Bad news: the side effect of the vaccine, your head shrinks. The good news: I'll have a fringe again. Good one, Dowler. Yeah, okay. Dowler's got the good jokes coming again. Keep up the good jokes there, Dowler. Benefits for most of us then. Vaccine makes your weenies shrink, I'm hearing. Oh God, that's a bit of a worry, isn't it? Tommy J, good morning, how are you doing? Merry Christmas. Anyway, any rumours in Thailand about reducing the quarantine from 14? It was very much on the cards. It was almost ready to go ahead, and then this COVID-19 issue in summer cyclone happened, and guess what? It got pushed to the bottom of the list. They said, damn it, no, they're going to deal with this first, so it's not going to happen. Malaysia is going to 10 days, I think. Yeah, again, so we had a number of people crossing the border down south, I think yesterday. I don't know, I guess I saw an article there about the border crossing, the illegals. Southern Thailand. 7 Yala police officers were sentenced to bribery, scale of confiscated methamphetamines, flood 7. It came up on the thing. I know I posted on my Twitter, just that I can't actually see where it is. Yeah, supposedly sort of there was illegal border crossers down south. They were caught, of course, and they all tested positive. So they're in internment camps down south as well. Hope this has some lasting impact on temporary labour practices in the seafood industry. Yes, well, it's obviously highlighted the issues down in those areas because, again, like out of sight, out of mind. Thais love seafood. Like I said, we did that video from last Friday, and like that seafood we were eating would have a 99% chance came from that seafood market because it was fresh sea. I said, you actually have to pull the live shrimp out of the tank to put on your plate. That's how fresh the seafood was. Now, normally when you go to these restaurants, they'll do the fishing for you, but this is a all-you-can-eat buffet. Is get it yourself, and it was all on ice all around. You saw the video. Come on, it was quite. There's quite a lot of fish there, and guess what? That fish would have been from that market, and that outbreak was detected 3 days before. So there's no doubt that fish came through that fish market. So we could have potentially been at high risk as well, because the people that brought the fish there from the market, could have potentially spread it around. But thankfully, after 7 days, there's been no symptoms on my end of the. I've always got a sniffle, because it's probably the air conditioning. But definitely sort of there's been no symptoms on my thing. Maybe I'm just asymptomatic. Who knows? But there's been no signs of it around the house. So there we go. When will the vaccine begin in Thailand? They're talking April, May before they start rolling the vaccine out in Thailand. We're not a first world country, and I'm pretty sure there's higher bidders in front of us to buy the vaccine. Thailand, I think, has been licensed to produce it over here. I think they've been licensed to produce the Moderna one, which they're ramping up production in the labs, around obviously wherever that happens. I guess round Bangkok area. I don't know where these sort of labs are. I really haven't done any research. Blue Zinc, good morning. How you doing? Haven't seen Oggy today. I know said he was playing. It looks like he's fallen asleep at the keyboard again. He was playing the game before, but now he's AFK'd. Or he's idle, as this says, it's idle, so he's around somewhere. Maybe he's watching the live stream, who knows. What vaccine is Thailand getting? That's the Moderna one, from England, I believe it is. The one with had the 70% success rate, or whatever they say. Blue Zinc, how's singers? I think Thailand is getting the AstraZeneca vaccine, which is under development. I have heard about that as well, but I don't think the AstraZeneca has been approved yet, has it? So there's different labs around the place. Like Thailand has a fairly decent sort of what they call pharmaceutical industry here, and obviously it's not like the pharmaceutical industry in America or in Australia. Not that I know the American one, but the Australian one, where they just you can walk into the chemist and it's like it's got ATM written on your head. How much can we charge this guy for your medicinals? There's a lot of the stuff is government approved and has what do you call it, discounted pricing. But apart from imported pharmaceuticals here in Thailand, it's very, very inexpensive. I occasionally take some antacid, and a pack of 10 of these not ranitidine. I think there's a new formatidine, which is like a suppressant, stomach acid suppressant, which you need if you're going to eat Thai food. Like in Australia, you'd pay $3 or $4. I think I paid 35 baht for 10 capsules or something like that. And it's very inexpensive because it's made here. It's one of the best things. Pharmaceuticals, along with a lot of other things, are quite inexpensive. It's only when they're imported that the price goes up. Sean Mark, hello, Merry Christmas. Good to have you drop in. Yes, that's right. March, they're sort of saying yes. So things are sort of looking up, but as I said, don't forget, 2021 is pronounced 2021. So whether it's going to be much better or not, we can only hope. As I said, it's a hopeful new year. Acid reflux. You tend to get a lot of that when you don't exercise. You eat a lot of spicy Thai food. Thankfully, I only sort of eat them probably once every 3 or 4 days. If I overindulge, it usually sort of rises up my esophagus and gives me heartburn. Charcoal tablets, because they don't work for me. I've tried charcoal tablets. It actually has a reverse effect. It actually sort of makes me feel quite off colour. It's not for everybody, as they say. What I'd like to do is, find what in the diet would be, natural, what do you call it, alkalizers. Like the way I kept it at bay in Australia was, whenever I had dinner, I usually ate salads and greens. But that's so hard to get a hold of over here. It's always cooked. You go out, you just can't order a salad. That's why when I go into Bangkok, I always go for a Subway, because it's got the fresh salad on it. It's the only time I really get to eat fresh salad. I suppose I could go to markets and buy the stuff myself, but then, nobody else here is going to eat it, so it's going to go off in the fridge. You can't just buy half a dozen lettuce leaves for, you know what I mean? It's just one of those sort of things. You're going to buy the whole lettuce, which only lasts a couple of days, unless of course everybody else is eating it. Then it's just going to go off in the fridge. Yeah, 2021 will be made because it's got 2020 in it, hasn't it? 2021. Of course, it's going to be the same. Moonlight Mist and Memories. That's an interesting name. Merry Christmas from the Golden Tiki in Las Vegas. Warren, it's obvious that there are thousands of expats who love life in Thailand. Does Thailand still love expats? Are things changing? Well, there has been a definite focus on the expat community because we're the only people that go around Thailand spending money in the tourist zones, and they are starting to realise that the xenophobia that they instilled in us in the Thais earlier on in the year has had a really negative effect on their tourist industry and obviously in the expat community itself. And there's been doing a lot to try to repair that image. But it takes so long. I said, unless of course it's on Facebook, right, and in your face, Thais really just don't pay much attention to it. And it's this sort of stuff is just not really brought into the mainstream media. We get it occasionally on the expat, English versions of Thai media, but whether they're actually sort of promoted on Thai media and on the news channels, that I don't speak enough Thai to really know. I don't watch the TV news, but there has been in certain quarters over the last for this quarter at least, there's been a sort of definite focus, the fact that they realised their mistakes and they're trying to correct it, but that may take 2 to 3 years for that to sort of be adjusted. As I keep on saying, whenever I see those articles, the first thing I do is I post a comment. Well, they could start by stopping the two-tier pricing, which has become, a relevant topic point. But whether anything really gets done, it only takes years for these things to filter through to the people that make those decisions, and then they get corrected. You know how it is. It's just one of those things. This is Thailand. Don't expect anything to be done straight away. As I said, we had the same-sex marriage laws went through Parliament at the end of last year. 12 months later, it still hasn't got on the table to be approved. But this is the way Thailand government works. So we are still waiting. Big W, Warren, you need to be careful with antacid pills. My father suffered from kidney condition caused by them. Yeah, if you take them like lollies, that's one of those things that can happen. Especially like there is the one with aluminium in them. The aluminium-based antacids can have a really sort of serious effect on your kidneys and everything else. I don't take those ones. I take the beta blocker or the what do they call it? Facidine. If you don't know what the facidine is, let's see if I can find it for you. Go search FASIDINE SIDINE 40. MIMS, okay. Oh, really? It's becoming more and more of an issue. Oh, I don't want to register on MIMS. Frick off. Okay, we're going to get something here. So many paywalls going up now. It's getting to be a bit of a joke. Facidin 40 milligram oral tablet is a histamine 2 blocker. So it's not actually. It blocks the histamine productions, which then sort of, reduces the acid. It's not actually an antacid per se. They don't take effect immediately. But yeah, I get that. Like I know my body enough to sort of say, well, yeah, so I should get off there if you want to read that yourself. I know my body. I know when I eat the spicy food, and I'll know the telltale signs. So I will then take Facet 40 when I get home if I know I've overindulged, so I actually don't get acid reflux. So it's only very, very rarely that I actually take something like Gaviscon, where I've just been unable to do the preventative. So this the Famotidine 40, and the other one is it's a beta blocker, Aussie something. I can't even say these names, but yeah, these are the two I take. On odd occasions, I don't take them as a prescription. I take them because it's my body, and I've learnt the telltale signs of my body, and these assist my body in coping with my overindulgence, if you know what I mean. Anyway, enough of the medicine. Moonlight, Thailand is still welcome to expats. Most are friendly. There's no doubt that we get treated well when we're out and about. But really, it's to do with the how are we being encouraged to spend more money. Well, that's a different story altogether. I think Jerry does enough for both of us. I hear lots of expats are thinking about Malaysia now, easier visa requirements. The trouble is the visa requirements can change. Like I read recently, the fact that they've cancelled all long stay visas for the expats in the Philippines. And they basically said that's it, no more long stay. I don't know if I can actually find that article. Was it? If I go to my messenger. Yeah. I think Afe sent me an article. Scrolling back. Per Philippine government orders mandatory wearing of face shields. There was something else he sent me to do with. No. Maybe it was before face shields. Bear with me. To TikTok. Government pounds 11k vehicles. Holiday protest tomorrow. I'm scrolling way too far back. Pretty sure it was Vafe, but maybe it was somebody else who sent me the article. But so what I read was that the Philippines have banned all long stay visas, and again, that's one of the things that you have to consider here. Like we've got the ability to stay here now from year to year. But they could rescind that option any time they want. This is Thailand. This is their country. If they felt that it was going to help their economy or help their situation, then don't forget, we are, as long stay expats, we fall under immigration. And look at this: the illegals jumping the border from Myanmar. All of these problems that we have with immigration really stem not from us as Western expats. It stems from the people in Malaysia jumping the border, people in Myanmar jumping the border, people in Laos jumping the border, and the people in Cambodia. They're trying to curb that sort of situation, and we just fall under that big umbrella. So, and unfortunately they can't be seen to practice any sort of xenophobia with their neighbours, right, by bringing in additional rules in immigration for the neighbouring countries, and then giving the expats, like the Western expats, like a free pass. That sort of creates the wrong impression for their Asian neighbours. So we're in a big net. That's it, and not much we can do about it. That's the way it works over here. They could rescind all those visas at any stage. One good thing is, of course, the 30-day visa on entry has been reintroduced, I believe, and it's been extended to 45 days. That's to cover your 15 days or 14 days in quarantine. I still think you have to go through and you have to book, have to pre-book your quarantine and all that sort of stuff. And that has to be shown at the gate or something. I don't have all the details. I'm sure that there are going to be videos about that on the Thailand circuit. I haven't sort of seen anybody post anything in my Facebook group about it. But again, you know, we're here, or we don't know anybody that's coming in doing those sort of things, so we really can't tell you how it's going. As things come to light, we'll let you know. Was it Thailand will be very helpful when expats and tourism returns. Yeah, exactly. They'll be very helpful. I hear lots of expats thinking about Malay. Yeah, we just did that. Same-sex marriage in Thailand is like a fusion route, always 10 years in the future. Yeah. Yeah, well, I don't know. So China seems to be getting closer than America on their what they call their Tomac reactor over there. There's lots of news coming out of China on that one. And Thailand, Thailand's got to be they've got a long-term project that's trying to get sanctioned. 3 billion baht to be allocated for their space program. Oh my God, seriously. They want to. In the next 10 years, they want to put a unmanned vehicle on the moon. Okay, fair enough. Anyway, I'm not going to say much more about that. I'm pretty sure you've seen that little whirly gig thing that they do every year that they launch into space. That's all that comes to mind when I think of the space program. Sorry. You've probably all seen it. I haven't got that video ready, so I can't really show it to you. But there's this festival up north, and they make this big, you know, like a 10-foot diameter or 20-foot diameter circular vehicle, which has it's like a rotary fan sort of thing, and it's powered by what they call it, the normal fireworks rockets, right? And when they light the damn thing, it spins on its axis, and that gives it lift, and it actually goes up into this. Good. Quite amazing to see. But yeah, that's all I can think of when they say space program. Oh my God. Anti-starve, yeah, that's an issue. They did the same in Vietnam. No long-term visas anymore. Yeah, it happens. Yeah, only the work and marriage visas. I think you can stay if you're married. Marriage visas work. It's just, you know, it's a single expats. It's to do with these catch-alls, you know. Kevin Pearson, good afternoon. Good morning. I think, you know, good. I can't remember where you're from. I think you're England. So very, very early in the morning. Yeah, Merry Christmas to you. I hope you have had or having a great one. The food yesterday was great. Must get my where's my photos? Photos. Yeah, this video will be out later in the day. Oh, I don't know. Didn't I Instagram the food? Really? It tasted great, but I didn't Instagram the food. I think we shot video of the food, but we didn't Instagram the food. Yeah, got to Instagram the food when you go to restaurants. I usually do. I just must have been thinking. That was Wednesday's lunch. That was really that chicken dish was absolutely to die for. It had a sort of a cranberry sauce with mozzarella cheese stuffed inside the chicken. Oh my God! Yeah, that one. I had to have my beta blocker. Not the beta blocker. The other one. When I got home on that one, because I knew I just ate way too much that day. But that food was yummy. Yeah, the food was yummy there as well. You saw that video. I'm sure you saw that video. These girls were cute. uh, with the fake breasts. Chanya's friends. It was always fun. Uh, they'll be up on my those. I haven't put those photos on my Flickr yet. They'll be up soon enough. Yeah, my Flickr album. Yeah, I usually update it every month. It's one of those sort of things. But yeah, you'll see the food I ate yesterday. The deep fried bass was just, oh my god. I'll never lose weight here in Thailand. Where are we? Sort of Merry Christmas. Yeah, I'll stick with Thailand myself, no matter the hassles. Muslim or Christian dominated societies have little appeal. Yeah, like I'm with you there, XNLO. Yep. There's just something about the Buddhist culture that just makes sense to me. That's both, I quite often sort of, in sort of some circles talk about the fact that, well, Christianity is just a very poor substitute for Buddhism. It's a commercialized political endeavor on a Buddhist tradition. And of course, then of course Islam is just a misogynistic version of Christianity. So that's just me in a nutshell. I'll leave it at that because your spiritual beliefs are your spiritual beliefs, and I'm not going to interfere with that. Given Pierce, I was work looking after folks who have dementia in a secure wing. Really, how'd that go? Hopefully they got good protection for the COVID situation over there. Ralph Lewis, I started to say that I didn't get the memo, then realised this is the first Friday I've had off since going off on DST. Very hello Warren, Paul A. Hello Warren, and the rest of the hat. Yeah, yeah. So, Merry Christmas to all. Yeah, so I don't know. So, are we going to wrap it up early today, or are we going to talk about anything particular? I've got nothing prepared. Like I've been out eating all week. And of course, Oggie's not here, so he's fallen asleep. And I don't know, sort of, how's our gaming compatriots? We had Psycho come and ask me yesterday we were going to sort of run up the Ark server again. Don't know how we're going to go with that. And what's my other gaming group there? There's nobody online there. It was hard. Some violence, lots of puking, a lot of very, very full folks after lunch. COVID is almost gone here, only at the border, and all who come in are quarantined. Okay, fair enough. To see you dealing with it pretty well over there. Sounds good. Daylight saving time is now 7:57 p.m. Okay, good. So still Christmas Day for you. Got a question. Do I ever get into club kid fashion in the 80s? Club kid fashion. I was always into the goth fashion, so even through the 80s I was in the gothic sort of, dark black, wore everything black sort of phase. I never really got into the clubbing scene. Oh, we did it for a laugh every so often, but it was never really sort of my sort of style. And I got the hiccups. If people don't know what a club kid fashion is, let me see if I can actually Control C. Let's see if we can actually find that on home, paste. Okay, images for cub. Yeah, that's what I remember. the new wave scene. I don't think they do it very much justice these days. That one in the centre's more like me. Yeah. It was like the pretty punks. There was never really sort of stuff. Did a bit of that sort of stuff, but more dark gothic. Yeah, so I can definitely sort of say we did it for fun, but as a laugh more than as a fashion statement. Oh God, the 80s. That's enough. That's enough. We're going to talk about that. Wait, okay. So, oh dear, Kevin. Yes. No restrictions internally. Probably being able to do work. Being able to work for 6 years, kind of used to it. I found it on YouTube and loved the dude channel. He was like a vlogger before vlogging ever became a thing. Well, I was sort of, to say, my first vlog was 2009. I didn't quite catch on the fact that it was ever going to become a thing. If I started doing it in 2009, I think I might have a bigger channel. But that was 2009 I did my first vlog, so there you go. That was when it was just starting to, get a bit of traction. I'm not even away, but the channel is cool. Yeah, I bet it is. Fluoro bell bottoms. Yeah, exactly. Somehow I think I missed that age bucket. This guy's first vlog was 1981. Right, well, first vlog or blog, because we didn't have vlogs like 1981. I know I was shooting video in 1981, but that was a VHS. I don't think you could put it anywhere. We couldn't really sort of upload it so people could share it. It wasn't until probably 86 before we could encode that stuff properly on digital as an end user. And of course, Steph Traveller. G'day, Steph. How you doing? How's things down in Pattaya, Steph? And the chat keep being positive. Well, we try to keep we try to keep positive at the best of our times. Yeah, dude, 30 years ahead of me. Oh, look, I've no doubt he was probably doing it, maybe sort of creating video archives of the stuff you did back then. As I said, I lost all my video. I wish I had access to it. We had so much video from back then, Dad's camera, I used to borrow, take out, with my mates and go and do parties and shit like that. We had quite a decent video collection, but when I bought the house off my father, he picked up all the video and photo equipment, took it to his house, and of course he passed away 6 years ago, and that house has been bequeathed to his girlfriend's kids, and we simply don't have access to the materials that he left behind. My brothers tried to get the stuff out of, it's a whole shit fight of a situation. So where that video is, my life started in 1989, where I started keeping all my videos and my photos separate, from my father. And I used to get into black and white photography and film developing and everything else back in the 80s, in the early 80s, and that was quite a fun thing we used to do, SLR cameras, superimposing two images in one, doing all the photography stuff. I used to love doing that stuff, and of course developing it. But yeah, all that stuff has effectively disappeared, and I doubt we'll ever sort of get to see that stuff again, which is a bit of a shame. In sort of some sense, my life started in 1989 when I met Angie, who started taking care of all our photos. Because before that, it was in a collective pool, and he picked up the whole lot and moved it to his house and never saw it again, which is a bit of a shame. Love to see old videos of Patia. Like I remember seeing, we got 8mm film from when I was 4 years old, 5 years old, and you know, I remember the stuff because you know you used to have the video way, you know, the reel to reel stuff, and you know every so often the old man would put up the projector and we'd review those videos and things like that. You know, I know the stuff exists because I've seen it a few times. Where it is, it's just all a mystery. I'd love to get it all, you know, encoded digitally, but as I said, I'm not in Australia. I've got no say so. You're in Belgium, are you? I thought you were still in Patia. Sorry about that. I guess you're missing the place as well. Yeah. So yeah, you know, my brother's been trying to get the stuff, get his hands on it, and sort of get it all digitally encoded and stuff like that. But he's having no end of trouble. Basically, the background of the story is the fact that my father went halves in the house with Elva, which was his partner at the time. Elva's son is a lawyer, and the son, I think his name was Paul. Was it Paul? I can't remember now. But he also married a lawyer, which was his wife, right? So they were both into law, or they were practicing law. He put the house in his wife's name, right? He was then brought up under malpractice about a year after father's death. So everything got held, all estate got sort of segregated and pulled away. We had basically no access to it, right? The estate has not been settled. Basically, you know, although I never planned for any settlement for the estate, you know, there was, you know, that house in Kellyville was probably worth $1 million, and you know, we'd probably entitled to a third of that, which, you know, if it ever sold and things like that. But unfortunately, it's sort of, you got no say so. He did, you know, the whole thing got blown out. You know, malpractice. He got brought up into charges. He actually committed suicide a year later. So, you know, basically it's a complete shit fight of a situation. I don't talk about it very often because it's really sort of, it's very distasteful to even think about it. But yeah, lawyers, they make good, you know, bed partners when they get together. And quite frankly, I think the best place for a lawyer is at the bottom of the ocean. But anyway. There's just so little footage of Thailand in the 80s and 90s on YouTube. I'm sure heaps of people got stuff at home sitting in the cupboard. Well, Bangkok Pat, my friend Bangkok Pat, he's got his channel up and running, and he's been doing those special little Bangkok videos, and most of what he does, he's only getting a video up probably once a week, but he really sort of does his best to try to pull out those archives. He's got better access to it, and of course he can read Thai as well, so he can find some of this stuff. He makes contact with the people who own the rights, or you know, who have put the video out. He asks for permission if he can use segments, so he actually has it all in writing, the fact that he's got rights to reproduce. And like these sort of things take a week before you can even get to the encoding stage. It's a lot of work, but as I said, that stuff will be evergreen. You know, he really has a, you know, yeah, he does a really good job. You know, so I keep on plugging the guy's channel. Go to my YouTube, Bangkok Pat. There you go, he's working on his picture there. But yes, he does a range of different videos. His most recent one, 7.3k views, 5 decades of Nana. He's got some rare footage in there and sort of, you know, what it looked like, you know. There was the Hopeful Project. Again, he's only got a small channel, 815 subscribers, but you know, he's got some interesting videos there. There's a compilation video there, some stuff on Siam, Trong Law, But that's what he does. He calls it the 5005 guide. So he picks a location and explores 500 metres, 500 metres around that area, and supposedly tries to cover it in 5 minutes. Well, that was the original idea, was to make them 5-minute videos, but he found that was almost impossible to do. So, like that one there, I think the last one there, that Nana one, went for 36 minutes. It took him like 3 weeks to put that together as well, but it's quite a comprehensive look at Nana and that area. So if you pop along and have a look at it. Bangkok Pat. If you're not subscribed, go and subscribe to his channel. But he's doing a good job of sort of trying to get that archive material. Look, maybe soon, if I ever get good at my Thai lessons and I can start to read Thai properly, I'll find some more, and do something similar. But I don't want to sort of take his thunder away. I really enjoy watching his. He is literally the only Thai channel I bother watching these days, because he just has a different fresh take on Bangkok, and they're informative. I like to know things, and it makes life different. Warren, did you see any? Steph's asking. Did you see any changes in the streets since the latest COVID outbreak? It did seem like there's less people out and about in the temples recently. We went. Last Wednesday we went for lunch out, in Nakhon Pathom there. Chanya wanted to go and make merit, so we went to one of the most popular temples out here, and there was absolutely nobody there. On the streets here in our street, zero change. The usual bedlam at 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock in the morning, which is the morning stalls that get set up. Right, you can drive down the street from 10 o'clock onwards. Well, you can actually drive down the street any time, but trying to negotiate with all the people, it's just like a shared access between 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. and from 5 p.m. till 8 p.m. at night. Our main soy becomes like a shared access street. I must sit down and do a bit of a sort of time-lapse video and show you. It's quite bizarre that these stalls come out of nowhere, and it's just complete bedlam for 2 hours in the morning and 3 hours at night, as the Thais get their food before they go to work, and as the Thais come home from a long day of work, and they don't cook, they buy this from the street vendors. But yeah, that hasn't changed here at all. But yeah, the temple was definitely sort of seemed to be devoid of people, and it was actually quite refreshing to actually get to the temple and not have to jostle your way around and make merit. So yeah, I guess there are some differences. But outside that, and apart from the roadblock just down the end of our street here, they got the police are out there checking for anybody with Summit Sakon number plates. They're not allowed into Bangkok. They just turn and say, nope, sorry. They need a special pass, and they need to give evidence. They have temperature checks and all that sort of stuff before they let you in. If you don't pass, then they stop you there. I was in university in the late 80s. It's no coincidence. Lawyer and liar sound very similar. Tell me, Big W. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it's been one of those sort of situations. Strange when you look at the past. Everything seemed good. Perhaps we forget the negatives. Well, actually, that's quite true. I think negatives seem to stick in your short-term memory, but after the short-term memory sort of lapses, we do tend to reflect on a positive vibe, because I think they sit better in the neural synapses, and they tend to be memorable, quite often triggered by music as well. If you remember music at the time, music of the days, like I can quite often put something on 70s music or 80s music on, and remember, like 80s music, I remember reminds me of skiing, because I used to go skiing every second weekend, at most every second weekend. Well, whenever we could. Sometimes you just couldn't get down there, but like we used to say every second or third weekend we'd go down skiing, and that's what we used to do. We'd party, and and it was all the '80s music in the dance halls and discos and things like that. And whenever I hear that music, I just think of skiing, being wild, different girlfriend every month, the whole thing, how it goes. The good old days. I really can't remember any negatives. It's the way it seems to work. I love that idea. I think that's when you get older, that's the thing, because the negatives around your life right now, it's like this balancing scale. When you are over 50, you've got a lot of good things that happen that sort of tend to peter. They sort of meter it out to the fact that you stay a lot more positive. Young people these days, all they do is focus on the negatives, and of course they've got no positive background to weigh that against. Makes them more negative. That's all I put it down to anyway. There you go, that's some bit of philosophy we could discuss, I suppose. What else we got down here? So it's people scrolling my screen off here. I was doing pretty well to keep up. Got some old VHS tapes of the 80s for the kids' birthday parties and personal stuff. Yeah, I had all that sort of stuff. It's all gone. Simple Gamer, let's leave Steph and trolling. Steph's come to visit us, and he's a good bloke at the best of times. When he gets a bit drunk, he's probably not such a good bloke, but I think we're all fall to that sort of category sometimes. So let's leave it as it is. I still consider Steph a friend. He's not a close friend, but he's a fellow expat vlogger when he's here, and he deserves to be treated as a human being. So there you go. Not much changed anymore. 1, 2 people a little more careful of wear masks here. Oh, that's the thing we have noticed is the fact that the mask wearing here and the Thai Chanya app is in your face everywhere you go. So we are now back into checking into the Thai Chanya app when we go places. Everybody is very conscious of their face masks. So that is something that's very obvious at the moment. Although the mask wearing has been pretty much predominantly everywhere, as I keep on saying, you'll see kids riding down the street here on motorcycles, no helmet, but if we have a face mask on. This is Thailand after all, face masks, they don't want to get covered, but it's all right. I'll smash my head against the concrete and get brain damage. Not worried about that, but I don't want that covered shit. Yeah, how it goes. Excellent. I've been working on reading Thai during lockdown. Best teacher I've found on YouTube is Banana Thai. Her English is great and she's fun to listen to. Banana Thai. Okay, let me have a quick look at that one. Okay, Banana Thai. Okay. Good. Okay, I'll subscribe to her and check that one out. Thanks for the heads up on that one. I was actually thinking of upping my subscription on the Thai-Pod 101 again, going to the paid subscription rather than the free subscription, because I've been reading more of their stuff recently. And I also, what I did with my playlist as well on my phone, I took some of my old audio snippets, my 5-minute audio lessons, and I've actually seeded that into my music lessons, so I can, when I go out and about and I've got my headphones on or my earbuds in, probably one song out of every 7 will actually give me a 5-minute Thai lesson. So again, it's the neuro-linguistic programming, listening to good music, good 70s, 80s music, and then I hear a Thai lesson. Hopefully it'll help it stick in better. bit of neuro-linguistic reprogramming going on there. which seems to be sort of having an effect as well. Thai, Chanya's been sort of saying, "Oh, you speak Thai really good," when I've been out and about. And I'll be saying more things in Thai, which she has obviously noticed, which has been fun. There's not much change. Kevin, 100% Wazza, you remember good night terrors and bad stuff? Well, I've never had night terrors and bad stuff, so I can't say that's really my cup of tea. But I think it's just the way that our mind works. We tend to, as we get older, we tend to retain the best memories of our life. Where's that beer coming? What about the notion that the older you get, the faster time goes? Well, I seem to have less and less time to do the things I want to do. Yeah. And part of that is complete sheer laziness to actually get out of my seat and go and do things. But again, I've always got things I'm doing, and it does it slip by faster. I guess we're not really beset with the shit that happens on a daily basis. The sort of shit you have to deal with on a daily basis. We don't get that. So there's none of these little point moments of, oh really, you don't get so much of that. So there's not so much counterpoint in your daily activities. So days just seem to just drift on through very quickly, because of those negative counterpoints. That's an interesting concept. Maybe we should explore that one more. Try to see if we can find some philosophy on the subject. I don't know how I had to do. I don't know how I managed to get it all in a working day either. Roy Goyd, I am in Koh Samet, and in Koh Samet. So just Roy. It's a very nice resort, very romantic and chilled time. Sounds like fun, and I think it's almost time for a new battery on my in my thing. It's starting to wander a bit. That's what I might do today. I might get out to the shops, go and get myself another mouse. This one here is going through. I go through batteries once a month, and I really need a rechargeable. That's what I need. I saw that what do you call it? There's a Logitech have a rechargeable gaming mouse, so I might have to sort of check that one out. They're not cheap. I think they're about 3,000 baht. So that's $100 for a mouse. Would you pay $100 for a mouse? I used to, but not these days. Yeah, please, Mr. Simple Gamer. Let's just keep it positive, or we'll have to sort of take you off the thread, as they say. Banana Thai is Nara. Banana Thai is Nara. She's cute, yes. We'll have to see how she goes with that. Ketone Dunes. Just picked up a condo in Bangkok. We'll be spending time there and in the countryside, hopefully to get together when I'm back one day. Well, if anybody is coming out, and you've always hit me up on Facebook, right? So people try to have conversations on Instagram. I don't know how you use Instagram as an instant messenger. You have to do it on the phone. Sorry, Ashley, I don't live on my phone. It sits on the side of the desk there. It's only used when I'm out and about. I do not live vicariously through my phone. I've lived vicariously through a web page. And that's why I don't use Instagram as a messenger, or Twitter as a messenger. If you want to hit me up on Facebook Messenger, or my Discord channel. I'm always on Discord, always have my headphones on. Right, if you're on Discord, actually there was something there was a little video I put on my Facebook the other day. Facebook. Of course, I will redo this or rehash this video I put on my video. I put a link up on my page the other day. Where is it? Christmas in Thailand. That's what I call a Christmas tree. I love it. Christmas Thai style. Yeah, phone did NORAD track Santa. Interesting art. Oh, I'd love to talk about this philosophy here. Santa is a psychedelic mushroom. Interesting concept. If you haven't seen that, it was on my. Check my page out. But there was something else I posted here. That Elder Scrolls. Yeah. Home cover test. How Discord works. There's a good 3-minute video on how Discord works and what it's all about. Like I really need to do a really similar type of style one, because I can't really play that because it's copyright. But yeah, it's a good link to Discord. Just go to my Facebook page and check out that video. It really explains Discord in a nutshell. It's no longer for gamers, it's for everybody. Get on Discord. I've always got my headphones, I'm always plugged in. You can still instant message me directly once you've looked me up. But as I said, there's a link on my channel down below to find the channel. That'll get you into the group. Right, this is my server group. Right, there are multiple server groups of people. Ours has a theme of being, me and my compatriots and expat followers and everything else, as well as gaming, because we play games. But quite lately I've been on another channel mostly, so if you're popping in randomly, you won't see me in the voice chat because I'm on voice chat on another server. But you can always instant message me and I'll always pop in and say hello. So that's how it works. It's like instant messenger on steroids, and it doesn't get spied on. So that'll be my take when I do that video. Large one. Yes, always hit me up. I'm always ready for a chat. Got the toughest border control. Yes, okay. If you think about it in a percentage, last week was a smaller percentage in your life than the previous week. This is why I think it's true. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's what they call diminishing returns. And you're going to do more. I think this is one of the things why I've made mention quite often about the fact that you can do so much here on retirement in Thailand. You can choose to retire from the hustle and bustle, or you can do like Jerry and a few others, and like Chuck and Throwing a Joe. You can be on perpetual tourism, right? If that's your thing, there is no limit. I guess it depends on the life you've had. Me, I've had a fairly full life, fairly diverse life up until this point, and I choose to do the things that really entertain me, which is gaming and building community and friendships and chatting and talk about the past. In one sense, what the shaman does. What the village elder might talk stories. I just don't think I'm a storyteller like Simon Loss. Simon Loss is a storyteller. I could never do a narration of the things that have happened in my life because I just get so sidetracked. He can stick to a story and stay on the story for 2 to 3 hours without getting sidetracked. Mate, I'm ADHD. As soon as I start talking one thing, I'm off on a tangent somewhere else. I can't talk a straight story for 5 minutes. As you know, if you're watching this channel, I can't talk a straight story for 5 minutes. So yeah, different to each their own, as they say. Patty MD, Merry Christmas. Very Critimus. Okay. Are you from Perth, Andy Stubbs? No, I don't think he's Andy Stubbs is Melbourne. Hey Ryan, you're a gamer. Do you ever play Counter-Strike? Those FPS shooters I don't play. They've never really I always relate to it. So that Tom Cruise movie was it Edge of Tomorrow. Live, die, repeat, live, die, repeat. I just really can't deal with that sort of monotonous, repetitive game style. I like to have a game where I can get involved and build and be part of a group of people with centralized goal sets, to do missions and things like that. That's more my style. Next year, or sorry, almost this year, was it? I've had the game on my Steam. If I go to my library, I've had I've had the game. What do you call it? Was Elite Dangerous. I've had this game for a number of years. I played 34 minutes of it, but I didn't like the whole idea of being shipbound because you're not an avatar in the game. But next year they're bringing out Odyssey, and Odyssey will go FPS, which means you'll actually be able to get out of your ship and be something. So that's something I'm looking forward to. And it's going to be a definite contender against things like Star Citizen. Currently the game we're playing is Dual Universe, where we are in an MMO and we've got everybody playing the same server, and that's what sort of entertains me. Conan Exiles, again, like I'm into the sort of, the games that you you build and adventure. Ark Survival, there's a new version of Ark coming out next year called Ark 2. And we quite often play that. I've got 1,300 hours up in Ark. No Man's Sky, 429 hours on No Man's Sky. These are sort of the things that Grand Theft Auto. I've played 18 minutes of Grand Theft Auto. And here is somebody in the background there. Who's come to join us there?
How are you, Wazza?
Davey boy, how you doing? We are live.
Good, pal, sorry. Yeah, I just, we had Chrissy lunch at Mum's today because the sister and nephews and nieces couldn't get here yesterday. So, thought I'd jump on. I just saw you go live. I thought, oh, yeah, this is Saturday. Shit, I'm missing Wazza here.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. I'm just trying to keep up with the general chat going on there. They're asking all sorts of questions.
I've been following that.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. Once you retire, you wonder how the hell you had the time to work full time. Exactly. It's just one of the secrets to a happy life is to retire early. Patty and Kevin Pearson, and of course Davey. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, mate, from the Gold Coast, and from me and my family to you and your wife. Or
Did
your
you?
Wife.
Did you eat yourself to oblivion?
I did today, and I tell you what, I'm going to lie down for a nice bloody nap soon. I tell you that.
How old are you? You can't take. You can't take a senior's nap unless, of course, you're over 50.
51.
Oh, okay. You're excused then. So seniors naps, you have to be over 50. I've heard people, under 50 years having an afternoon siesta. Sorry, that's against the law. You can't have a seniors nap unless, of course, you're over 50.
I've been doing one of those. I think I felt a bit like how you felt after your feed on Wednesday.
Yeah, tell me about it. And because there was a feed on Friday too, which is the video that I'll release in about 4 hours. It's up there. It's up on the thing. I just haven't sort of released it publicly yet. These videos are always, if you're on my Facebook, I always post on my Facebook at least 24 hours beforehand. You can always go and check it out before everybody else, and leave a comment. Now, how are we going with our numbers right now? It's 28 out of 38. We're getting up there. How's our super chats going? Yeah. Don't forget, we've got the as we say, the new one there, the buy me a coffee. I still got to get that cover image done. Jeez, I'm slack, aren't I? Links are down below if you want to do a donation. It's always welcome. Never required. Always welcome though. Best game Counter-Strike. Yeah, a lot of people love these things. I just can't deal with Counter-Strike or those rinse, live, die, repeat. Type games. They just really don't have anything in my life. Indeed, a great game. More of Quake Live. I used to play, Quake and Doom 3D and all that sort of stuff back in the early days. I suppose they got doomed to death. That's why I don't play those sort of games anymore. Unfortunately, I'm not on Facebook. Yeah, sorry about that, but you always join the Discord. If you're not on Facebook, Discord is a separate. You can put an app on your phone. Last political season was too much. Hey, look, I know when you've got 2,500 followers on Facebook, actually 3,500 followers, I think all total. You get the Steph, cup of markup, beer or coffee. Well, it's going to be a Red Bull smoothie, of course. That's my go-to drink. But very much appreciated, Steph. Thanks very much. Did you like the little video I put up on the Facebook group the other day? I think this morning or last night. Give you a bit of a laugh. A little video snippet somebody sent me. There you go. €2. There you go. That's got to confuse the payment systems. I don't think I've had a euro before, have I? I'm glad they do the conversions for you. That makes life a bit easier. Yeah, a lot of politics on Facebook, but that's again, keeping in touch with people. That's why we use Discord. I don't know. I think Steph was going to be looking at getting a Discord server up as well at some stage as well. He hasn't let me know if he's got one up, so I guess it never eventuated. But if you did, Steph, you have to come along and invite me to your server so we can pop out every so often and see what's going on. 33 and overseas nap all the time. Paul, hey, that's it. Illegal. Let's call the seniors nap cops. We'll have to put him in jail for that one. Agents of Law. Best game ever, GoldenEye on N64. Never played it. Jack Dorrington. G'day, Jack. How you doing? What happened last Saturday? What do you mean, what happened last Saturday? I don't know. What happened last Saturday? Last time was on mine. Yeah, okay. Well, I just thought it might have been good for your followers. Get them off Facebook and be less politically correct. Yeah, how it works. There's a few juicy bits up on my Discord. Oh, well, did I put it on my Discord? I can't remember. Did I put that up for the oh yeah, I put the one with the breasts on it. Yeah. Oh no, I put that one on there. No, I'm not going to include that one. You can play that one. Those sort of music pieces will definitely get a copyright strike on YouTube. I did stream last Saturday, Jack. I did. Definitely up there. I'll show you. You don't believe me? Oh, you probably, yeah. What happened was the fact that there was a copyright piece in there. So once the thing went off live, I had to go into the editor and take the 60 seconds of copyright material out, which takes about 6 hours to encode. But it's definitely up there on my YouTube. That's obviously, you may have just joined in later, but there it is. Hey, Saturday, 19th of December, still there. But it basically, because the piece was from Viacom hate YouTube. Viacom have told YouTube the fact that anything that's from Viacom cannot be played anywhere in the world. Right, so Viacom are one of those narcissistic groups that have a really sort of stringent copyright policy. They will they demand videos get taken down, even if there's only a minute of something of theirs in it. You cannot be displayed anywhere. Just one of those sort of things you have to deal with. But yeah, it was definitely sort of there. And of course, once it was 15 minutes after the video was finished, I got the notification that there was a copyright strike, or copyright infringement, not a strike, it's a different thing. So I went in with the editor, snipped it out, and once you do that, it takes about 4 to 6 hours for a 2-hour video to re-encode, because the fact that it has to basically go through the restreaming process. And once that was done, it was back up. It was back up by 6 p.m. at least. So people have been watching it, but of course those numbers are a little bit down on what we normally see, because a lot of people watch it in the Saturday afternoon. So hopefully we won't have that sort of problem this time around. Got to go. Okay, have a good day. We'll be wrapping. It's 20 minutes to the hour, so I think we should be in our little wrap-up process. Early retirement tips. If the sheep go left, go right. I think the biggest problem we have, we rely on our governments, our duly elected governments, to provide for us. Right, I think the best tip I could give anybody is the fact that, right, quite honestly, it's a scam. It's a scam to keep you in line. Right, you need to be focusing from the day you start earning an income. You need to start focusing on, I am going to retire, and I'm going to do it on my own without handouts. I started late, right? So, I started, in my late 20s, early 30s. The thing that instilled in me, I guess every time I talk about this, I instilled the whole process because I saw my father retire at 50. Right. Also saw my father have to deal with that whole retirement at 50 process. Basically, he was offered voluntary redundancy through the Australian defence industries, and for the next 5 years, he was still working for them. Same thing happened to me, but I pretty much canned the whole thing after 6 months. I said, I retired to retire. I didn't retire to work for you remotely. But you get the idea. So like father, like son, same thing happened to me. We'd garnered respect in our due industry, and businesses don't plan for retirement. This is the thing. The organisation I was with, constantly telling them the fact that there's no retirement plan. There's no facility. There's no mechanism for somebody to say, I want to retire next year. Can we start training somebody to replace me now? I'm not going to give my notice until we've got a replacement. And every time we did those workshops, about how to be a better employee, that bullshit that they do, like how to do more and get paid less, every time we did those, pick me up, team building exercises at the office, I used to ask the question, where's the program to deal with people leaving, people who want to leave, or people want to move on, or people who want to retire? We need to be looking at that, but no, that doesn't sell. Nobody's doing those plans, and of course, it's like father, like son. We had to deal with the fact that I had to train somebody remotely. And then, of course, 6 months after that, I did find out from Michael, the guy I trained up and left anyway within 3 months after I stopped assisting. What do you do? They could have, luckily they didn't come back and ask me again. I probably would have told them where to go. But look, I would happily entertain working, under my rules in a company, but it'd be under my rules and under my remuneration package. I'm not scared of work, but I definitely would never think of entertaining working in Thailand here on Thai wages. That's a recipe for disaster. I've said to Gigi, I think I said this to Gigi, he's a top head honcho in Villa Marcos. I said to him about 4 or 5 years ago, I said, well, when I come to Thailand, I'll be in Thailand, and I could come in and sort of revamp all the computer systems for Villa Marcos, get you, cutting edge and be a leader in your respective fields rather than be where you are now. He says, we could really do with that, knowing what you know about how to build that sort of stuff. But I haven't sort of followed through, and Gigi knows I'm here. I've just said, but what you'll have to do, you'll have to deal with all the visa crap because I'm not dealing with it. But and it's you'll have to be paying me, what I was getting paid in Australia, not what not what you probably want to pay me here in Thailand. So they're the two probably stipulations. But I enjoy computer engineering. There's something I really enjoy. The thing that I found distasteful in my industry was the last 2 years of my employment when our company got sold into a bigger company called IRI. We went from 7 locations around the globe, which I was basically king of the heap, or as we sort of say in the IT industry, I was God. I was the IT God. Everything revolved around what I built and what I planned. Right, management had difficulty dealing with me because I always wanted money. That's why I employed Michael to be my go-between between management and what needed to get done. I was the senior engineer. I made it happen. In the 15 years that I was with that company, I had deployed something in the order of 400 servers over that 15 years. Right, I was no slouch around the computer table. But yeah, over the last 2 years, gradually starting to get told by less informed people of how to suck eggs. And quite frankly, I was to say, that won't work, but I'll do it anyway. And then 3 months after the deployment, I told you it wouldn't work. Remember I said, you can check that email 3 months ago. I said, this is what I would see would be wrong with the situation. Right, I've done it exactly to your plan, and it doesn't work. Sorry, but now we'll do it my way. So the project is now going to be put back another 6 months before it'll get done right. Right, and that went on for 2 years. I just said, frick it, I can't be bothered with this shit anymore. University students telling me how to suck eggs. Seriously, get a real life. And of course their business ethics was the fact that, we'll just outsource it to India anyway. It'll get done eventually. Anyway, that's IRI for you. I just no longer wanted to work for them, but I really didn't want to sort of work for another company. That was it. I just had my load. I said, stuff it. I don't need your money. I'll just go and do my thing. Could always do with more money. Just money's never, always had more money. Always the option for more money. But I just live carefully. If that is true. I get copyright infringement when I played so-called copyright-free music songs. Yeah, it happens, Steph. It's a joke, and it's YouTube. What can you do? They're the king of the heap. You can try a few others, but getting your audience over to something like BitChute and things like that, it's almost impossible. Sorry, I'm not more interactive there. Everybody, these last 2 days with family. Don't miss the madness. That is time of the year. Yeah, I don't miss the madness. It's actually quite peaceful when you start to think, the bullshit we have to do through in the old days of Christmas. Oh my God. It's all about pork bollocks. It's all about the pork bollocks as far as I can see. As far as I'm not an American, and I'm not even American or in the US. Pork bollocks. Not quite sure what the term means there. I paid $58 for 2 pizzas to be delivered. I get every week, maybe. I might order pizza tonight. You just reminded me I might order pizza tonight. What's pizza going for today in Grab? Okay, Grab food. Clear all that shit off the screen. Grab food. Go to food. Here we go. Food. Where's my food menu? God, these things make you lazy. They really do. What do I want to eat tonight? Go to my favourites. Go to Pizza Hut. And Pizza Hut here is actually quite palatable. Not like it is in Australia. And I believe... How do you find Pizza Hut in Australia, Davey?
No, it's not the best, is it? It's a bit like Domino's.
Yeah. But here we go. Buy 390. Said buy one get one free. So Hawaiian Island Delight, Crazy Bacon, New Orleans Deluxe, Spicy Chicken Barbecue. Oh, yummy. Mixed Deluxe, Hokkaido Super Cheese, and pepperoni. You notice I didn't put the vegetarian one or the Hawaiian. Did I say Hawaiian? I did say the Hawaiian. Nobody eats Hawaiian. Why do they have Hawaiian? Nobody eats Hawaiian. They have a veggie one there as well, but I don't talk about that. That's not pizza. A vegetable pizza? Really? But yeah, so I get 2 for the price of 1. That's 319 baht. Plus delivery. They're only like 3 kilometres on the road, so the delivery is 21 baht. So that's 340 baht. So that's 2 medium-sized pizzas for 340 baht. And right now, dollar's up. Converter. So it's 340, 340. That's $14.88.
$15, yeah.
$15. Can't go wrong. $58 for 2 pizzas. Oh my God! What are they big 8-inch pans with special toppings, or can't imagine what you're paying $58 for.
Maybe a lobster pizza.
Could have been lobster pizza or truffle. They do. Burger King have a special at the moment. It's what they call truffle cheese burgers. So they've actually got an imported sauce, which is a truffle-esque sauce. I'm pretty sure it's got nothing to do with truffles, given the price of truffles these days. But a truffle-esque sauce, cheese, topping on. Oh my God, this is some of the stuff you get to deal with over here. The food here gets very creative. I think there was something on my Facebook I did the other day. We were out at we're in Big C Petkasem, and there's the other pizza chain, which is the Pizza Company. They had on on the front wall, there's a special. It's a hamburger pizza. So it's got the crust. It's made out like little hamburgers in the edge of the crust. But it's a meat lover's pizza with little burgers as a crust on there. Oh my God. Creative, and it was totally yummy. It really was. So when you can't decide between pizza and a hamburger, go to the Pizza Company, get a hamburger pizza. I'm pretty sure it should be on my Facebook. Let me see if I can find the picture. Is it Facebook? FACE, Facebook.com. My page again. Quick. See if I can go there. Small screen. Show you this freaking pizza. It's freaking ridiculous. How far down was it? Was it 2 weeks ago? Yeah. It was around about here. Oh my God. How far down is it? God, I post some shit on my Facebook, don't I? I can't find it. Really? Okay, look at my images. Photos. Got to show you this pizza. Food. I need to do more Instagram food, don't I? Oh my God. Can't find it anywhere. Nope, can't help you there. For some reason it's disappeared off my feed, disappeared off my photos. But yeah, it was a hamburger pizza. It was quite yummy. It's Sean, of course, high minimum wage. I don't think it's really high minimum wage. I think that's just trying to milk every cent out of you. God, semi scrolling off the screen. Everything's going too fast. 5 years ago, Any more questions before we wrap up? Questions? Did I miss anything on the question side of things? There's nothing Hawaiian about Hawaiian pizza. Too true. And although I don't mind a bit of pineapple on my pizza, I think just the Hawaiian pizza just made really much sense to me. Never enough meat on it. Two mediums. Merry Christmas. Somebody else, Kevin. Just make sure I haven't missed anybody. Sean, Mark. We are wrapping up. Have you got the like? Have you hit the like button there? What's our like button? What have we got? 32 likes. We're getting there. Go on, finalise it. Get the likes going. If you haven't liked already, just hit the like button or hit the dislike button if you want. It doesn't worry me. It's all engagement. In NZ, Domino's are far superior. Yeah, Thailand just has the best pizza. They really do. But yeah, I think it's all about the special pizza they do. Yeah. But just the classic $5 is the same. Okay. Can of wood and Jun Tulip. I'm not quite sure that is. I think I might be that Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut have these thin pan, thick crusts, and cooking time don't go together. The Crow. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas. Hope you had a good one. Yes, we had a good one. I do hope you have a good one too, Mr. Crow. Loved that movie. It was a great movie. No, but I think the version of the second version of I think the Crow #2 didn't go down as well as the first one. The first one was really well done. Kevin, I don't guess another pineapple and hamburger. Like a hamburger, there's something I've got to teach the hamburger makers out of here to do. To do an Australian hamburger with egg, bacon, pineapple, and beetroot. Right, they get the first 3 or 4 parts right, which is they never put enough onion on, right? But you have the patty, right? You have 2 slices of tomato, lettuce. You have onions, not that diced shit that they put on, typically. I think Burger King uses slices, but McDonald's use diced onion, right? Tokyo Crow, a couple of mark up. There are too many crows in the stream tonight. There we go. New names, very good. But on top of that, then you put egg and bacon. You have then pineapple, right, and maybe more bacon, and that is the perfect burger. As far as that's in my book, is the perfect burger. You can use Wagyu beef if you want. Just normal beef burger would be okay for you beef eaters, but if you a pork patty, pork's much more healthy for you than beef anyway. So that's how you make a burger. Maybe I should do a video on how to make the perfect burger if I can find some beetroot. I can pretty much find everything else, but I can't find beetroot. That's one of those challenges. Maybe I'll put a challenge on. See if I can do that. How to make the perfect Aussie burger in Thailand. Got to get the ingredients and see what we can come up with. Do a kitchen vlog. There you go. Something to keep us in the house. The crow is lurking. Yes, too many crows in the street. Anyway, thanks very much all for your Christmas contributions and everything else, guys. As I said, always greatly appreciated. Never expected, never wanted, but we love it anyway. Suddenly I want to listen to the wanky guitar solos on the urban rooftops. Have a great new year. Yes, everybody else. Drew Hickford. Yes, have a great new year yourself. And Chanya, you little piggy Wednesday munches, still astonishing what you eat. I don't know. I'm trying not to get into the Mark Ween style of doing the actual eating thing. I'll show you what we're eating, but I won't do the eating thing. leave that for Mark Weens. I just think that talking with your mouth full is just something I was taught not to do. Although I do it every so often, I try not to do. Every time I do it, the first thing that comes in my mind is my mother said, "Don't eat with your mouth full." It always comes through, like this. Just the negative side of life. But yeah, mothers are like that, aren't they? I was going to tip you and get an icy at Susie's and lock myself out of the forgotten password. You have to go and sort that one out. Yes, yeah, well, that's what I call it, the one with a lot. It's the only way I would ever eat a burger, Richie. There was always one with everything. That's how you need a burger in Australia. I had to actually go through the gorge to get to the best burger joint. They didn't have one on our side of the gorge. There was one on the corner of, I don't know if you ever went down Gorson Gorge in Dural. That burger shop on the corner. It's changed hands 5 times in 20 years. But one thing they've always managed to do, they always managed to make the best burgers. It always comes up with that damn pause button, pause button. Oh, okay, happens, I guess. They have that burger in Horhin on Johnny's channel, do they? But I don't live in I don't live in Horhin, so I'm not going to. You think I'm going to drive for 2 hours to go and get an Aussie style burger? Aussie burger has to have beetroot. That's exactly right, Andy. I've got to teach the Thais how to do that. Maybe if I do the video, then my Thai watchers can actually see how to make the actual perfect burger, and then I can show Chanya what a real burger's all about, and she'll probably want to eat nothing else and get fat like me. And LMA, couple marks up, make a cane toad burger. Fair enough. And for the mushrooms on the burger, we use Anamatita muscaria, dried, of course. Make the best burger in town. You'll start to fly. It all looks so lovely. Thanks, mate. Can't wait to eat that much. Yes, yeah, okay. Anyway, Stephen Monash. Stephen Monash. Merry Christmas, Stephen. We all miss you on the channel. Have a good one. Hope everything was good with your family, and have a good New Year. Anyway, it's just gone midday, and as we know, we try to wrap this up at 12. So, excuse me again. I guess it's time to disappear. Thanks very much for tuning in, and hopefully we'll be back. Yes, I think the next one is the 2nd of January, so in the new year. So that's the recovery day, and hangover should be gone by the 2nd, so we should be good. I think she's got the Tuesday or the Wednesday. We're out to do some eating thing in Bangkok. I'm not quite sure which day she's choosing. It might be Wednesday. Because that's her day off. She's got something booked. I don't know what it is. We'll have to see how that one goes. Anyway, have a great and hopefully a good New Year for next year, and we'll see you on the 2nd. And be square, be here, or be there, or be square. Oh my God, I'm out of here. Let me get out of here. Where's the closing screen? Where are we?
All the best, Wazza. Have a happy New Year.
Okay, David, thanks for dropping in and saying hello, and we'll catch up with everybody later on.
See ya, catch ya.
Bye for now.